Morning, everyone. Welcome to Muni Misfits in the Morning. We are here live at Zagal Golf Course. We're going to do a little soccer golf today, but the rain kind of nixed that. Probably saved my hamstrings from blowing up. My name is Greg McCall. I'm the head golf professional at Edgewood and Zagal. I'm joined today by Chris Larson, who is waiting, another Muni Misfit, who's waiting for a bus for a girls' golf tournament. Also joined by
Matt Cook, and I'm the head golf professional at Rose Creek Golf Course and Prairie Wood Golf Course. Yeah, this is a little different not having our host today.
What are we going to do?
He's always been kind of an empty chair though, hasn't he?
Wow. I don't know. He kind of did the introduction. He kind of got us to all the places. So we're in trouble today, man.
I don't know if they can see this, Laura, but in the background, you will see a black truck that came sizzling into the Zag right now. And I believe that is our golf dad. Just arriving now, but yeah, kind of a little bit of an overcast day. The rain's starting to let on up, but yeah, I certainly didn't want to get that plant foot slipping out from underneath me and blow up the hamstring for the rest of the year.
Have you ever played soccer golf, foot golf?
I've never played foot golf.
You know, it's a lot of fun, but again, my hamstrings, my kids laughed at me when we opened like 6 years ago. My kids laughed at me when we did a little soccer golf because my follow through was pretty short and bent.
You know, it's kind of cool though. You know, I don't know if it was the last couple episodes, but I mean, we did like the 14 club challenge.
Yep.
We did something goofy where, you know, I think we drew each other's club like on a par 3 or something like that. And then you've got foot golf, and these things are all, you know, related to golf in some way. And it's just kind of being able to get on the golf course and have some fun with it. I'm just sorry there. We're laughing because we blocked our host out of the golf shop. And you know what? No one's really getting up to help him out. So Chris may join us live from outside the building. I didn't know it was maybe our best show ever as a result.
It's Friday.
Oh, I'd like to welcome to the show our
special guest today.
Hey,
hi
guys. How's it going?
How's the girls' golf going today?
Well, they're a little stranded right now.
Oh,
so
no.
The bus, get this. Okay, so if you're going to pave a parking lot for high school, when are you going to pave it?
Today.
Yeah. So the bus for Fargo North and I think Fargo South and Davies and stuff for the JV, the bus pulled into Fargo North High. And if you've seen Fargo North High right now, it is like, it's just a big mud pit. Well, it's supposed to meet at South High. And so this bus is stranded in the middle of this dirt pile at North High, and they can't pick any of the girls up. So now all the girls are sitting in the parking lot at Fargo South, stranded, clubs out, and everything, and just waiting. So yeah, it's a big mess. But
where are they supposed to play today?
Valley City.
Oh.
So I kind of had an idea. We should probably do like a live from inside the bus, the girls' bus, as they're going to, you know, some of these meets. I think it'd be kind of fun to see, you know, what's happening in girls golf. Anyways, how have we been doing?
Wow.
The show
Matt and I are winning. Laura's been awesome.
So we were just talking we were talking about, you know, not being able to do foot golf today, and I was just talking about how some of the previous episodes, you know, we did some kind of different experiences on the golf course, like the 14 club challenge, and I think the one day, you know, we did the par 3 deal where we kind of drew each other's clubs, and we're going to play football today, and just all the different ways you kind of enjoy the experience on the golf course.
Sure.
It's just kind of fun. And it kind of almost brings me back to even like a kid doing some goofy stuff like that as well. You know, whether it was like wiffle golf around the house in the neighborhood, or remember Mark Johnson and I built our own golf course. When they built his house out at Village Green, they were like one of the first houses. So Mark had all kinds of open lots like around it. And we built like our own dirt course, and we had some great features to it. It was awesome.
So did you guys actually play with real golf balls?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's the longest hole that you played?
Oh, these were probably, I don't know, 30 yards.
Okay. Yeah.
You didn't have, I should say, you didn't have that much property.
So we were, you know, Chris Croach and I, we were talking, and I think last show we were talking about how when kids practice right now, you know, there's a lot of structured practice. They're going out and they're playing in a lot of events. There's a lot of like structured stuff, but I think the times that you get really good is when you're goofing off and you're like, I bet you I can hit it around that tree or over that tree or over, that dumpster or whatever to try and get it onto the green, or whatever it is. You're making up targets and stuff, and you're using your creativity. That's how these kids get really good, and when I think of that, I also think of like when I was growing up with Scotty Sorbog, we were playing with wiffle balls, and we were trying to get it around his house in the fewest amount of shots possible. And so that's how you're going, okay, we're going to go clockwise. So then you have to fade it around the house. And then the next time we're trying to go counterclockwise. So you're learning how to maneuver the golf ball. And wiffle balls are a blast because you see how much movement they have.
So we never had a driving range growing up where I was at. So we did a lot of the same thing. But do you think, and I saw it last night at our schedule, that we had some high school students that were out there, and they weren't doing that. They were goofing around a little, but they were just banging drivers off the tee box. I don't ever remember just banging drivers.
No, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like we didn't really have access to unlimited range balls either. Right. So it's like we picked up what we could find, and we hit the driving range a little bit. Yeah. But we weren't driving range. So I mean, you're seeing that now. Kids are just hitting a lot of golf balls.
It seems like they hit a lot of golf balls, and it doesn't seem like they're. I mean, seriously, they were there. Yeah. I caught them a couple different times, and they did have one big range basket out there. Well, when I saw them the first time, they were hitting drivers, and when I saw them 45 minutes later, they were hitting drivers. So I don't think there was anything really in between it. But you're exactly right. The structure that we have in everything, every sport, everything we do now, maybe takes a little away of that creativity, because when kids get out there, and adults as well, I think that happens with us. There's just not that, like you said, oh, gee, I remember how I faded this wiffle ball around the house. At least you have something to kind of go back on.
Well, and I remember too, just kind of hanging around the Edgewood golf shop, and you just kind of got dropped off there. Yeah. You kind of got dropped off there, and then you just see who shows up, right? So then you would hang out by the chipping and the putting areas, and you just chip and putt, and wait for people to show up. And then if someone showed up and, hey, you want to go play? And then you'd go play. And so it was it's different now, right? Because, dropping your kid off somewhere and then leaving them till dark may not be the great parenting skill. Thanks, Tim and Jerry, appreciate it. You guys are great. But it's different. I do think though that the non-structured stuff and just being able to the pickup game type mentality, right, where it's just easy breezy, goofing off, and I think that's the best way to learn.
But if you look at our players that were either on the tour or tried to get on the tour from Fargo-Moorhead, that Amy Olson, Josh Persons, Amy Doden, currently Tom Hoagie, those guys, and gals, that's what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of commonality, and they obviously played a lot of golf, but Amy at Oxbow goofing around the practice green, Tom Hoagie at the par 3 at Fargo, Josh and Andy at Edgewood. There's some commonalities there that I, as a coach, it would be so cool to hear from those kids, at least to give those kids an idea of what they actually have to do, instead of maybe always spending that, we're going to go hit 200 golf balls and then go out and play, and how'd you do? Well, I hit it okay, but I couldn't get it up and down, or I putted real bad, or whatever.
Because when you're out there practicing and you're hitting range balls the whole time, you're just kind of cementing that motion, right? And it's just you're perfecting the motion, but you're not actually getting the golf ball in the hole, right? It's how to get the golf ball in the hole quickest. And I was given lessons yesterday, and I was talking to a gentleman that I go, we do the same thing. We go out there and we try and hone that motion, but we're shooting free throws, right? And you're not playing basketball. You haven't figured out how to get the ball in the hole yet, and that's what that play mentality that that we really harp on is promoting. We're trying to get the ball in the hole the quickest. So. More of that, more play, more goofing off. I think we're advocating for more goofing off, right? Right, Cookie?
That is correct. There are limits, but yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think even when the kids practice, even if they're at the short game and practicing, there's always multiple opportunities with one shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and to hone a skill, I understand that part of it, but kids are hitting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 putts. They're just repeating the same thing. It's not that, oh my goodness, now I only have one swing at it and I got to get it there. You know, so that okay, we're going to drop the ball here. Like you said, I do remember just dropping the ball, hitting it and going, oh, I lost that one. Let's go here, hitting that one or a putt. So you just have one opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and I guess too, when you think about when you're hitting range balls, how many people, and you know, there's practice golf, there's recreational golf, and then there's competition, right? But how many times do you get lessons where guys are saying, gosh, I can strike the ball in the driving range. I can hit the ball so well, but I just can't take it to the golf course. But when you're out on the driving range, it's just raking balls, hitting it again, and hitting it again, and hitting it again. So you don't ever have that same thought process when you're playing golf, because you've got that, I got one golf ball, right? This stroke matters. And there's consequences, you know? So you definitely lose that on the driving range. You get maybe a little bit more relaxed because of that, but you aren't playing golf.
Yeah, I mean, on the driving range, when that happens, people can find a way to practice. I mean, if you hit it, I always stripe it. Okay, next one, here's the hole I'm playing. I'm going to tee it up and I'm going to hit it. Now, wherever you think that ends up, that's your next shot. So
Yeah, I love that.
If it's on the ground or if it's in the trees, your next shot's got to be a punch shot, right? And then, okay, I'm going to have I have 80 yards left. I'm going to go at that target and I'm going to do that. So again, you get that consequences, like you said, Matt, of, okay, it's one swing instead of, you know what, I know what I did there. I hit it 50 yards to the right or left. And you know, there needs to be some method to the practice.
Agreed. Yeah, when you see guys out there, just like your point of hitting driver after driver after driver, when have you played golf where all you do is hit a driver, a driver, a driver, a driver?
It happens a lot to me because I'm reteeing it a lot. Provisional, third provisional.
But you know, when you see these kids out there practicing, and it's one thing when you're grooving a motion, you're trying to figure something out. But then after that, it's just exercise, right? So get these kids out there or everyone, I shouldn't say kids, everybody should change the clubs up, right? If you're out to the driving range, simulate the golf course. I love that. That's, you know, hit different shots all the time, change your targets, change your distances, hit different distances with different clubs, you know. That was one thing that I always loved doing, is like take maybe I'm hitting a 7-iron, but trying to hit it 100 yards, trying to hit it 125 yards, trying to hit it 150 yards. So you're finding out your tolerances and how to hit it high, how to hit it low. You know, right now, if we're talking to somebody that's just starting out to play golf, that may seem like it's a stretch, but when you learn how to hit different shots with the same club and bend it and move it, that's golf, right? That's how you get really good. So
a lot of conversations about the Tiger Woods, the 9 windows, you know.
Oh,
9
yeah.
windows that he hits it in. And we talk about how good tour players are, and they are really good. And if you're a good player and you're out there, and we see a lot of good players and they hit the same shot all the time, but when tour players talk about, Tiger talks about 9 windows, and he could hit the 9 windows low, 3 low, 3 medium, 3 high with different curves. We're talking about your ball there.
I mean, that's just insane to think that there's a story of Tiger. Well, there's so many stories, right, of Tiger. But when he won the British Open at St. Andrews, and that was back when Steve Williams was on the bag, and granted, this is probably fictional, but the comment was Steve said that Tiger was hitting it too good. In fact, you're gonna have to aim just a little bit left or a little bit right, because if you hit it, you're hitting it, you're just gonna hit the flagstick and it's gonna bounce away. So I mean, Tiger, yeah, his practice mentality and how he did things, man, that's pretty impressive how that guy could move the ball. And I guess, like Croce was saying, figure out how to stop your ball in a certain place, right? We think about golf shots as being able to hit it a direction, and distance is a big part of it. But how do we get the ball to stop where we want it to? You know, that's the skill, right? Get it to stop in a location. So, what is today's show, by the way? Are we?
Well, we opened the show without you.
Yeah, I don't have a cookie or anything.
We talked about we were going to play foot golf.
Yep.
It's the weather kind of didn't cooperate with us, which actually I said saved my hamstrings.
I did not stretch today, so I did not get up for early morning.
I can't stretch anyway, but so yeah. So Mother Nature won again today.
What have you guys gone over? What's happening
We
at
have
courses?
not. No.
No 2 on, no 2 off. No, what's going on at the courses?
There's 4 off at the Fargo North parking lot, right? It is completely submerged in mud right now. It's seriously, that's crazy. Okay, well let's talk about what's going on at the golf courses. I mean, who's leading off?
I can head on.
You want to lead off?
No, we've got I think it's going to be a busy weekend once again. I think the weather's going to be a great weather weekend. We've got hanging around upper 70s, lower 80s, a little overcast. I think it's supposed to be pretty dry, and so I think we're going to get busy. Monday we do aerify our all 18 holes. But we are just things have changed so much. It's you kind of always heard you think of aerification, that dreaded thing of yesteryears. It'd be like a 2-day process. They'd pull cores. It looked like they were pulling cores as big as like the whole of the golf cup, and it would take like 2 weeks for it to even begin to even start to resemble what it was before. And now I think the practices, things have changed as far as the logic, the thinking, what they can do, and what's actually, beneficial for our greens. And so I think it's just, it's not nearly as brutal now. I mean, literally they'll be done doing all 18 holes. If weather's good, I would say by 2, 3 p.m. at the very latest, and we'll be back up playing golf right behind them. Like a thin layer of top dressing. They do kind of more of what they call like a knifing or needle tying.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, I'm not saying the putting surface is perfect when they're done like Monday. Once they get that stuff watered in, even by Wednesday and Thursday, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Even Tuesday's not bad. It's just like, it'd be like someone just top dressed your greens. And so the good news there is I would say by the weekend, the only problem with that is because we do have the sanding. Anytime you do sand your greens, you run those mowers through it the first time right away, it's going to dull those blades right away. And we don't have like endless sets of reels that we can keep adjusting out, and they can't simply sharpen them every single day either. So I think you end up finding that sometimes the biggest thing is maybe just the height of grass or the cut of grass, because the reels aren't quite as sharp. Maybe they're even set up just a little higher. So you might experience maybe just being a little slower, not quite as nice and smooth as what you're used to right before the verification process. So we'll do that on Monday. Like I said, if all goes well, we'll be open by later Monday afternoon and the rest of the week. And we've got an event next Wednesday. Other than that, normal play. So
Nice.
it's still continuing to stay real busy on both the range and the golf course. And so it's fun to see people out there enjoying the game of golf. And it seems like there's a lot of passion still.
The driving ranges right now are crazy, and if anyone's got a good line on range balls, I'm putting it out there as range balls. If you're keeping range balls and you want to return them, please return them.
To Rose Creek Golf.
we are running that picker just constantly. So, anyways. That's one takeaway I've had my first year at Osgood. It's just the practice facilities, and now we've got high school teams practicing. We've got girls golf out there, so we've got out at Osgood. We've got Shanley and Cheyenne, and both. I want to compliment both the coaches. They're doing a fantastic job. So the ability to share the space and then still allow for the public to be out there. It doesn't even seem like we really have 2 teams at the same time. But that being said, they're there's just it's like a little beehive out there. We just got a lot of activity happening all the time. So it's fun to be a part of. It's fun to be in the mix. So anyways, it's fun to see the kids back playing, competing. I love that. The stuff that's going on at Osgood today, we have the final couples night of the season. We got the final. Yeah, and so the game we are playing. Do you guys know the game show called Deal or No Deal? Okay, so we are playing the golf version of Deal or No Deal tonight. So I don't know if I'm Howie Mandel or what my character is, but the Deal or No Deal way you play that is everybody gets 11 briefcases and their envelopes, and they have money, not actual money, but dollar amounts. It's in the rule sheet. It says fictional dollar amounts. We're playing Monopoly money here, but it's got dollar amounts in these envelopes, and they randomly select an envelope, and then as they go out and play, they will actually start opening envelopes, and then they radio in. We have an ATM station out on the golf course. After 3 holes, they then call in to the banker. Call into the banker, and they tell us what envelopes they've opened, and then they get a deal based upon what envelopes have been opened. And the goal of the night is to make the most money possible. So they're making these deals out on the golf course, and then if they make a par, that's worth $10,000. Excuse me, $1,000. A birdie is worth $10,000. An eagle is worth $100,000, and then a hole-in-one is $1 million. All amounts are fictional. All right, we're not going broke here. But and then at the end of the night, whoever has the most money earned ends up winning the event. So it's a fun one for the staff. It's definitely a fun one for the people playing. We saved that one to the last because that is a little bit of a heavy lift and there's a lot involved, but it's going to be a blast tonight. So then we also have some live music going on the patio. We got Gordon Christensen coming out to play. So it'll be really a fun night, and we are hoping weather is going to be good. It's supposed to be decent now, right?
Yeah.
You're my meteorologist.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay, Greg.
There's a 15% chance of a 12% chance of a 4% chance that it's going to be nice. Although hourly that could change.
Okay. Spot on.
I'll make that clear. You just said Osgood, not an expert, right?
Correct.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to be in the South Side.
Oh.
So he's not going to
no,
be fine.
just no.
I'll stay.
Go away.
Yeah, I will.
No deal.
So that kind of rounds out this week. We don't really have anything going on Saturday or Sunday, but then Monday we've got our junior golf closing banquet as well. So and we get to use the Dakota chapter PGA. We get to use our inflatable, the shark, the hippo, and then the big T-Rex. So we're going to bring the inflatable games out there and do a little mini golf. And then we also have the I'm forgetting the name, Northern Brain Freeze. We're getting the shaved ice. Excuse me. I should not call it snow cone. It is not a snow cone. That would be absolutely
Trademarked.
Yeah, I can't say that. It's shaved ice and it's delightful. So thanks for coming out and hanging out with the kids on Monday night, and it's gonna be a blast. So that's kind of what we got on tap right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. What do we got going on at?
We have an open weekend this weekend, so we're looking for a good play. Monday we have a Legacy Children's event, a corporate event. On Monday, Tuesday, Men's League, Thursday, Ladies League. That's about it for this week. So it's with high school golf starting, and it's all NDSU football all the time now. So we know that we're kind of getting into that, and Vikings football, Vikings, or Packers football if you're a Packers fan. Chiefs aren't going to be down this year. We'll see. Yeah. So anyway, we're at El Zagal's open. We got a nice facility here, and it's been busy, and the weatherman's been pretty good.
So I remember last year and all your tweets you had, the count of how many men's days that you had consecutively. Now we haven't had the same season that we had last year, but it's been pretty darn good since we got going. Are we close? Like, where are we at regarding? Like, you haven't had any rainouts for men's days, have you?
No, not since we got going.
So that's pretty cool.
The middle of May through now. Yeah, last year we had 31 straight. I don't know if we can beat that one, but
I don't
yeah,
think
it's
that's possible.
good. Yeah, no. And the weather this time of year going forward is usually pretty good. It's not. I mean, the weather forecast is good. It's not supposed to be 95 degrees. Usually it's a little less windy.
Mhm.
And as we go August and September is usually really weather-wise maybe one of the better months that we have because it's not so extreme.
Yeah, honestly, this is the best time to play golf. So, speaking of that, do we have any updates on P2P? Have we heard anything?
First round matches yesterday in championship flight. The defending champion won one up in 20 holes, so he had to go a little bit. Nate Adams.
I'm guilty of not. I haven't seen really any of it. I did see that there was a lot of guys shooting the lights out and qualifying. There was a lot of really good scores, but I haven't seen anything regarding where the matches are so far. So Nate Adams.
Is he like 13 under or something?
Yeah, and I don't know if he played both days. I don't know if he played both
Okay.
days or if he just played the second day.
I think he posted scores.
Well,
someone said that he
They
played.
had to post scores because
Right.
they had, in Golf Genius, they
Yeah.
got to give him the number one seed. So the first day he was magically one shot lower than the lowest. Then he and Simonich, who played great the first day, and then the second day I don't know if he played because they did give him a score there. So one of the funnest days, and again I miss this week Pine and Palm. We used to play all the time. It's really the only event I super miss.
Agreed. Same.
But one of the funnest times at that tournament is Wednesday night playoff. And I believe they had 9 guys for 5 spots.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, because they qualified Tuesday, Wednesday
Oh, for
championship.
okay, yeah.
So
okay.
Wednesday night,
Yeah, yeah,
6:30 is one of the funnest times. If you haven't, even if you don't play golf and you like stuff like that, there's train wrecks, there's happiness, there's sadness, there's
the whole thing.
There's the whole thing. I don't know how many holes it ended up going, but Carson Schultes, North Kid, got through that. And the cut was 5 over, which I thought was a little bit higher than I thought, especially after seeing the scores the first day.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, the playoff is so fun to watch because especially when you get those circuses out there where it's like it's 10 guys for like 2 spots or something like that, or 1 spot, or I mean, it's just crazy, and then you got everyone following along. It's just a blast. So I'm totally in agreement with you. That's the one event as a golf professional that you look at and you just go, man, I could go back in time like that. It's just some of the best weeks of golf. So good luck to everyone.
Yes.
Out playing the Pine and Palm and Mark Holm. This is his last P2P. So finish strong, buddy. This is going to be a great year, and we're rooting for you. And I can't wait until we get to go play a little golf too. So later at the end of the month. So, anyways, good luck to everyone out at the Pine Palm. What else do we got on tap, boys?
FedEx Cup starts this week. Tom Hoagie did not have a very good first day, so he's going to need an exceptional day today to make the cut. And there's double points involved now, so you can, like for Tom, unfortunately, you can fall pretty quickly.
Sure.
If he doesn't make the cut, he'll probably drop out of the top 30 this week. They'll take 70. He's in next week for sure. But then all of a sudden next week he's going to have a good week. He needs to have a good week to get himself back up to make the Tour Championship.
Okay. And so as far as the rankings are concerned, God, I have a tough time following all this. Like, I don't quite understand all of it. But I thought Ricky Fowler was like, I thought he was gone. I thought he was out. He ended up making it into the FedEx at 120. Do you guys already talk about this, or
No, we haven't talked about
okay?
Was he 120?
That's what I mean.
Or was he 135?
Right, exactly. Like I don't
your favorite subject. You're kind of leaning towards your favorite subject.
I know, I don't get it. So like I saw the golf, I just pushed out on, it was either on Instagram or Twitter or something like that, and it goes, something about Ricky Fowler, and I'm looking at this going, what? Really? So I kind of thought that was weird. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't think he was ranked that high.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
Okay.
Well, how did he get in?
I don't know. How did he get in?
Oh, come on. You know how he got in.
How?
I don't know.
Living on a prayer.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't live, they're out.
Yeah,
So you move up.
isn't that crazy? So that's one way to do it, right? And to move up the rankings. But man, when I saw that, I'm like, that is amazing. So, anyways, I think he had a good. I think he
Shot it from 500 yesterday.
Yeah. So
Like,
make
take
the most of it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would
God,
be great.
I love watching Ricky play, and I think the game's better when he's playing. He moves. He's one of those guys that can move the needle regardless if he's playing well or not. If he's in the mix, people like watching it. He's just got a great personality, and but man, he's had a tough go too. So slumping, but hey, maybe this is the boost he needs. Yeah, and then what else we got going on? Anything you guys think?
Amy's playing overseas again this week. She had a tough day yesterday. I don't know what the weather. I didn't get to see Amy, but I just looked at the score. So she's going to need a good day today to kind of make the cut. And she's kind of on the fringe of losing her card. So she needs to. I don't know when their end is. They probably have quite a bit left, I would think. But hopefully Amy can kind of get things on track here.
Speaking of ladies golf, did you guys watch the conclusion of the women's open? You guys didn't watch the playoff upon?
No.
Well, I texted both of you guys, and I'm like, are they seriously going to keep doing this? They're going to keep playing 18, and then that was the kiss of death. As soon as I texted you guys, I forget her name. Who was? Well, she striped it.
Yeah.
Who is she playing against? I'm so sorry. Anyways, she knocked it into the bunker right as soon as I texted you, and I'm like, oh, that is over. All, you know. So, but it was cool to watch them play over and over, and you could tell like they tied with bogey, then they tied with par, then they tied with par. You know, it's like they were totally it was just those two playing golf coming down the stretch, and everybody was just surrounding that group and watching it. You're looking at, you see the lights come on the golf carts, and you're like, that's dark. They are playing in the dark right now. The modern day TV camera is so light sensitive, right? And it's picking up everything, so it looks like this outside, but they are playing in the dark. And so last hole, it was pretty fun to watch. And then Muirfield is pretty amazing thing too.
I think,
So.
like for the Open, the men's British Open, they'll do the 3-hole aggregate score. You think with the women's, I was trying to think of, I wonder why they wouldn't do something similar, or even after playing 18 a couple times. But I'm wondering, do you think possibly, I don't know if it's true or not, they may have just a lot less cameras, or something like the British, and so they might not be set to do something like that? I mean, you would think you could certainly have a routing of even 3 holes and do it aggregate as well. Like, that was a tough 18th hole, I thought. It was getting cooler and cooler, so it wasn't a hole that, like, they were going to make birdie. It was like, who was going to gag the lead?
100% agree.
And so I almost thought, like, if you had like a 3-hole aggregate scoring, it would have been done in 3 holes, because you may have had someone in there maybe make a birdie, or but 18 over and over and over, and unfortunately, I can't remember her name. I don't know if she was Korean. She hit it, or if she, I can't remember anyhow. She hit the fairway bunker. It was one of those deep, sod bunkers, and she had to pitch out, and you almost thought she was going to be totally out of it until, like you said, the other lady knocks in the greenside bunker.
Yeah, so that I would totally agree with you. I think that the aggregate scoring would be, that would make way more sense. Not to mention, then you could have a collection of holes that have different par values and things like that. So I think it would be a greater it would determine a champion better than playing 18, which for those women, they're gonna it's just gonna be a par, right? More times than not, they're gonna par it. And like you said too, it's just, you're just trying not to screw up, because the likelihood of making a birdie, they both were hitting, it wasn't a fairway metal, they were hitting hybrids. Maybe it looked kind of like maybe even a 5-wood or a hybrid of some kind, but they're hitting that into the green. Like, and these women are great, but the likelihood of getting up and down from 200 yards, not great, right? So you're just going to get a lot of pars, and I think that's what they saw too there. And it's fun when you get a playoff that is 4 holes or 3 holes or whatever, because that's like some extra golf, right? We get to watch some extra golf. That's cool. But yeah, 18, I don't know, over and over and over again. I'm like, this is getting a little monotonous, right? Can we switch it up, different hole, something? So, but all right. Anything we got? Any other stuff?
The other one that's kind of fun, if a person wants to catch some golf, which I enjoyed, I watched a bit of the replay last night later, was they've got the U.S. Women's Amateur going on out at Chambers Bay. And, we just had, I think the junior girls, was that out at Bannon, or was it?
Junior boys.
Junior boys
Yep.
up Bannon, okay.
Yep.
So, it's kind of cool to watch, similarities there, you're getting on the West Coast there, and how those courses truly are kind of more of, I guess, what I would refer to as a league style golf course. And, there's just some amazing golf there, as far as, we just talked about the LPGA, and then you look at the USAM, you look at a lot of these girls here, it's like, holy smokes. This is some really good play.
Would you not agree, though, that landscape, like Chambers Bay and Bandon Dunes, are the perfect venues for, like, especially a U.S. junior? I would think that those types of golf courses, and even the USAM, because they had the Bandon and the USAM as well, I think that those venues are so great because they got multiple courses out of Bandon. And so then you can do the qualifying and all that. But as far as match play is concerned, those golf courses are just built for match play because there's so much drama. And the cool part about match play is that it can flip on a dime, right? And so, a bounce here, a bounce there, and the match just changes, and the variety of shots that you get to hit at these golf courses is there. So, and then you've got the weather condition. I think there's just so much to be said about match play at those types of venues, rather than, making it super long and then super tight, and, all our parkland golf courses that are just, man, you got to be golfing your ball straight. And I like it when you get a lot more of that creativity. So I think that's cool.
It's prime time golf. So for us, that kind of maybe get home,
Yes.
do our stuff, and
Love it.
we're actually watching live golf instead of, East Coast where it's now 3 hours earlier and it's over at 1 o'clock on our side and we don't get to see it live. So that's the part that I like about West Coast golf. At least we can see some live golf.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
So those kind of nice things happen in golf. Do we have anything? Have we plugged FargoGolf.net?
We have not yet. We
Wow.
waited for you.
You're
the best at it.
No, you're the
Yeah.
one that always talks about. You're the one that always talks about FargoGolf.net.
FargoGolf.net.
Have you been to FargoGolf.net?
I've been there before, yeah. I go there daily to check out all what's new.
So if you haven't done so already, that was our really bad plug for FargoGolf.net. But go ahead and look at all the 5 public golf courses here in the Fargo Parks. You can see Edgewood, Rose Creek, Osgood, Prairie Wood, El Zagal. You can book tee times there, see any of that information that you need on FargoGolf.net. Also, if you haven't done so already, you better subscribe. You better smash that notification button on YouTube. I think that's what the kids are saying these days. And then you're going to follow us and like us on Facebook. And also, you can listen to us on Spotify. This is the Muni Misfits in the morning. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, sir.
Speak now. You good? Okay. My name's Chris Larson, head golf professional. I don't know if you guys introduced me at all, but I'll do it at the end here. Oh, you did? Okay. On behalf of the Muni Misfits, thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Hopefully we're outside again. Maybe playing some golf. So we'll catch you